afternoon. My name's Robert. I'm the admin for the martial arts community on Quora. And this is for the Teach Us a Hand or foot combination thread, the video. Just a couple disclaimers up front. I do not have a black belt in a kick punch system. I do have a black belt, but it's in classical jiu-jitsu. So this is more like, this is what I know, and if you find value, great. If you don't, no harm, no foul. The second disclaimer is that if you have any hand injuries, arthritis, you feel any discomfort when you do this on a bag, don't do it. Just, go talk to your doctor, go figure out a plan, but don't drive through the pain. The last two things, I guess the last thing is what I'm hoping, these bikes, I guess the last disclaimer is you'll see bikes when I'm moving this around. That's my other hobby, is bicycling. Normally I'd show you, tell you about the bikes and show them to you. However, I'm trying to keep this within 10 minutes and it's going to be cutting it close. So I'm just going to skip the show and tell today. So kind of what I'm hoping to do with this video is, I know a lot of the people that are on Quora are a little older, so I'm going to leave the kicks off and just work hand combinations. And I'm going to stick to palm strikes for a couple reasons. One, it's safer, you don't have a chance of injuring your wrist because you're flexing it. And the second thing is that I want to give you something that you can, well, there's actually 3 reasons. The second one is I want to give you something that you can, within a few days of watching this video, walk into a bag room and apply. And then the last reason is that for self-defense, palm striking is the way to go. And it'll give you something that you could parlay into a self-defense process. Beyond that, this is really easy and cheap cardio. I use heavy bag work these days. I'm in my late 50s. I use heavy bag work for cheap cardio. It's one of the easiest cheap cardio things you can do. Today I ran 720 steps, which is a little bit more brutal than upstairs than doing bag work. But this is going to be pretty tough too if you really start to dig into the bag later when you get a flow. So there's 3 components to this. Let me just put this down for a second. Let's see if I can tilt this. There's 3 components. Oh, and this wire's not live, by the way. Hence the reason I don't really care if I'm standing next to it. So there's 3 components to using handwork in any type of kick punch or just punch system. The first one is just the hand positioning. And the hand positioning we're going to use for the palm strike is fingers tucked into one unit, thumb tucked in. It's just so you don't bend stuff backwards. And you want to blade a little bit. But if you mess it up and hit it flat, it's really not that bad. You'll lose power, but you won't get hurt doing it. So it's fingers 1 unit, thumb 1 unit, and bladed. The other 2 pieces are footwork, and I'm going to show you 2 pieces of footwork today. Kind of how you move. And the third piece is breath control. So breath control, if nobody's ever spelled it out for you, is first off, it's paramount. If you don't have the breath control, you're going to gas out really quickly. And what it looks like is you're going to gulp air like this, and then push it out as you're throwing hands. So if I'm throwing 2, say for instance, I'm going to exhale as those 2 hands land. Empty my pockets while I do this. So I'm not a social media guy, and this might be a little rough when you hear this. But yeah, so you inhale, and then as you land something, you push it out. So there's 3 parts: hand positioning, footwork, and breath control. And you can't cheat the breath control. So I'm going to start with, so the breath control again is you're just going to gulp, and that's assuming you don't have a mouthpiece. If you have a mouthpiece, you'd probably go in through your nose, or if you've got a bloody nose, you can try to use the corners of your mouth. But, and the exhale's like, yeah, coordinate with the hands. When I throw my hands, well, let me start with the footwork. So the footwork we're going to use, I'm going to use 2 pieces of footwork today, and just to kind of keep it simple. For the front leg, we're going to use the drop step, and all it is, you pick up your leg and you drop it. For the back leg, we're going to use the turn step. What I'm going to do is I'm going to float the ankle and rotate it over. With the turn step, I am bow-legged, which means my knees, I'll never knock my knees. My understanding is it hurts a lot to knock your knees. I wouldn't know because I'm bow-legged. So if you happen to not be bow-legged, I can be pretty loose with this and I'm not going to knock my knees. You may need to keep a little distance for you if you're not bow-legged, just to put it out there as a disclaimer. I have no concept or idea because I'm bow-legged and it's not going to happen. So within this idea, is that you're just going to put, for all of this work today, we're just going to do a drop step and a turn step. So it's drop step, turn step. I'm going to put 4 hand combinations on a postcard over here together for you to give you 4, and then just kind of walk through the process. With the hands, if you came from a sparring background, you may have kept your hands here. Keep in mind that the boxing gloves cover more of your face. So this is good for boxing. It's no good for if your hands are bare. You can see this isn't really protecting much. I mean, it's protecting your neck, which is good, but your forearms already do that. You have to change the hand positioning so that you're up a little bit, like closer to here. And then when you throw the hand shots, you want to hide them behind your shoulder. So it looks like kind of like this with the jab or like this with the cross. So if I throw this cross and just leave it out, I've got this going on. So I've got this little cage around part of my face. It's not a perfect protection, but it beats like throwing your hands and just having your chin up in the air. So if I'm going to throw stuff, I'm going to try to hide it behind my shoulder for a little bit of extra protection versus leaving my chin up and throwing my hands down here. It's more taxing to have to do this, I'll be honest with you. It's a little bit more taxing, but it's a really good habit. The last piece, to put a little self-defense piece to this, is we're going to do what's called blading. So with blading, it's somebody, like let's just say the camera's giving me a hard time and I don't feel comfortable with whatever's going on. I'll step back and go, hey, look, I'm not looking for trouble. However, by stepping back like this, my hands are up, and I'm essentially, for you military guys, I'm locked and loaded. I've set everything up so I just go at a moment's notice. The other person probably doesn't perceive that, and the people that are filming with their phones see you as the defender or the victim. And you're like, hey, look, I'm not looking for trouble, man. I'm just, and then you go. And you saw that I did that right in the middle of the sentence. I did it without saying it, but anytime that it's go, for whatever reason it's go time, in the middle of the sentence is the way to do it. Not at the end of it, because they're waiting for you to finish the sentence. So like, hey, look, I'm just not looking for trouble. And it doesn't matter if you say trouble or not. It's, and don't do it right away. Like, spend some time trying to get out of the situation, but if you have no other option, in the middle of the sentence is a better play. All right, where are we at on this? So I'm going to start with the drop step and give you some of the parameters with it. So with the drop step, I'm just dropping it down. You can think of the drop step as half a parabola for the front leg and half for the back leg. I'm not going to cover the rear drop step today because I'm trying to make this shorter. But this is my left foot. For the front leg, it's half a parabola being a U, I guess, half a parabola this way, which means I don't have to go straight in for it. I can step out here and still throw it. Anything on this side, so I can make it kind of shorter, like a real tight corner. I can actually cut a little bit of a corner. I'm going to tell you why I'm talking about this real quick. So if I'm like moving around and I'm just going into the bag, and I'm still going into the bag. Oh, if you're wondering what that is, I spilled some detergent down here on the ground. But I'm going into the bag and going into the bag. If I keep going straight in, which isn't horrible necessarily, and then I just kind of step off to the side, two things happen. One is by stepping off to the side, I rotate back into it so I get a little bit more steam on that, we used to call it slicing a jab, on that jab that's off to the side, so it gives a little bit more power. And the other thing, which is probably even more detrimental to the other person, is my back shoulder is much closer to the back. So if I stay straight and I do this, my shoulder is right up here. If I take that step, my shoulder is much closer, which makes the back shot faster by a little bit because of the distance. So the idea is that you set up a rhythm where they see this, they see this, they see this, and then the back one comes just a little bit faster because I changed the angle and my back shoulder was closer. So with the drop step, I'm just, and if I'm doing this like where I'm doing this little marching thing, it's called pedaling a punch. So like, not that you necessarily have to do both of them, but you can just kind of pedal it out, right? But I can drop, I can drop, I can drop, I can drop. For today, we're going to coordinate the drop and the touch with the hands. So as the foot touches, the hands touch. The point, there is a concept just for academics where you touch the foot first because the hand tries to catch up. Your body's kind of got a symmetry to it. But I don't want to get too deep in the woods, so just for today, it's same time. With the back one, it's a little bit simpler. It's a turn step. So with a turn step, I'm just rotating. I can come up on my toes and be pretty comfortable. Some people will come up on the ball of the foot because that feels more comfortable to them. I don't know why, but I feel perfectly comfortable doing this. So I tend to do this. But if that doesn't feel good to you for whatever reason, do this. I just realized I won't do it because I've pretty much ingrained this into who I am, I think, for the most part. But it just looks like this. And again, bow-legged, not going to knock my knees. If you're not bow-legged, you might have to figure out a plan where you don't, like I just let my hip go and I know that my knees aren't going to knock. And what that looks like, I'm going to face this way so the camera just looks like that. So I'm going to put this to some combinations. Hoping I'm not doing bad time-wise. I'm going to put this to some combinations, to 4 of them. Oh, the turn step has a built-in slip. This is why I'm looking at my piece of paper to see what I'm going to miss. So slipping is when you move your head out of the way when you're coming in. You know, you can slip this way, slip that way. The turn step, one of the nice things about it is it has a built-in slip in the footwork itself. So if you're thinking, hey, I'd like to learn some slipping, if you learn the turn step, you have one already in the bag. And so if you look at my head and I do the turn step, you'll see the slip, right? Right, so that's actually not the best slip, I'm sorry. I'm not just moving my head, right? But because I'm rolling my hip, my head moves already. So the turn step has a built-in slip in the process. All right, what else did I forget to say? Oh, so we're, the last thing is when we get to the bag, I guess, is we're gonna go with finesse over power, but I guess I'll come back to that. So I've got 4 combinations I wanna show you today, and I'm gonna do them kind of slow because, well, this gets to the finesse over power. It's better just to get the process down and not go straight for trying to hit the thing as hard as you can. The power will come later. So we're going to do a jab cross and a jab jab cross for the first 2. So the jab cross, drop step, turn step, drop step, turn step, drop step, turn step, drop step, turn step. And you can see every time I do that I'm kind of hiding my jaw a little bit. You probably don't see it on the other one as much. But that's intentional, right? So this is no good, right? This is good. And we're going to go jab, jab, drop, turn step. So every time I throw a jab, I'm drop stepping. So it's drop step, turn step. Drop step, turn step. Drop step, turn step. And we're going to do that in the bag in just a moment. Then we're gonna do jab, cross, hook, and cross jab. So a hook is gonna use a turn step. So I'm gonna hook off the front leg. And what I typically do is I'll cheat a little bit, move my hand out, and then just kind of turn. But it's the same turn step. I'm realizing I can't do that and talk at the same time. It made it look really bad. I apologize. But it's a jab, cross, turn. Jab, cross, turn. Jab, cross, turn. And then the last one is just a cross jab. So it's turn step, drop step. I realize that sometimes I use turn steps when I do the cross jab. If you did it, it's okay. Look, if you did it with both with turn steps, it looks like this. The turn step when you're kind of close has the advantage of if you're leaning on somebody, you don't have the room to land a jab. But if you do the turn step, it gives you a little space. In my sparring days, I don't know how, I feel like you guys probably don't have a side kick, but if you can see my legs floated, I can put the leg up and drive it right in afterwards. However, I'm leaving kicks out of this because I have a funny feeling that most of you guys don't have kicking skills, and the side kick within the scope of kicks is a pretty difficult one to learn. But I'm going to put these to the bag. So when you do this to the bag, two things. I'm going to do this just with finesse for a little bit, and then I'll put a little power into it so you can see the power. But what you want to do is you want to grab your phone, put it on a timer for 2 minutes. If 2 minutes is too tough for you, go to 60 seconds. If you get 2, max out at 3. And in the beginning, all you're going to do is tap, 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 and not go for power. And what you're trying to do is just memorize the footwork, the breathing, and the hand motion. So it's not like hit the bag as hard as you can now that you've watched the video. It's build some finesse, get some rhythm, get the breath control under control, and then slowly build up the power. So, grab my combos again. So I got jab, cross, and jab, jab, cross. So just kind of tap in the bag for the first couple minutes. It's cross, cross, jab, cross, jab, jab, cross. And then if I want to slice the jab, I want to go over here. And you'll see that even though I'm not trying to build a lot of power, just by stepping out this way and rotating, those jabs are a little stronger, and it's because I'm rotating my hip back into it. That's the advantage of, we used to call it slicing and jab, and it's not the official name for it. The last two are what? Jab, cross, hook, and cross jab. So just... Yeah, you know what, on the cross jab, don't worry about the drop step. Just do this. It feels more natural. So that's what I wanted to, like, if you're just like looking at this and this is all kind of new to you, that's what you want to do. New to you includes if you put boxing gloves on before you go down here. Take the gloves off, take the wrap off, palm it. And again, this is kind of what you're looking for. It doesn't matter if you're here or here, by the way, as long as it's one unit and the thumb's tucked. But try to transition to that if you can. And that means if you're walking by a gym and you want to go in and they'll let you do something for 20 bucks, or your buddy has a bag or something, you can just walk in with no equipment and get to work. This bag, if you were curious, I bought this used on Facebook ads. I don't know, like 5-6 years ago, and I paid $25 for it. People will buy this stuff, realize they don't know what to do with it, and get rid of it. My heavy bag, which is on the floor over there, is 40 bucks. I just gotta find a way to get it back up. I tried throwing the chain over here, but it was messing with the electrical stuff. But it's a 70-pound bag, and I paid 40 bucks for it. Bag stuff is cheap. Even a new heavy bag is like 120 bucks maybe. But we're going to do this with just a little bit of power, and then we're just going to call it a day. So we got jab, cross, And then jab, jab, cross. Here we got jab, cross, hook. And cross jab. So you notice the cross jab is a lot faster, and it's because when I throw the cross, my shoulder's in a really good place just to uncoil and let the other one out. It's a faster combination, so it almost feels like it's one shot. It's just the way it's structured. And last time, just when you go in, don't shoot for power. Just what you're gonna do is just